banded push-up for all you suckers for punishment. If you have a nice light band, something like this works best. If not, feel free to throw on that weight vest from the other day. So we're gonna take our hands for our banded push-ups. We're gonna put them into the band. We're gonna make sure that the band goes across our upper back, okay? So you can do this from your knees or your toes, depending on your ability level. You just wanna make sure that you can feel the band on your upper back, because if you start to lose sensation of where the band is, then it might come whappy in the head. Hands nice and wide on the floor, okay? We're gonna get into our push-up position, whether that be from the toes or from the knees. Rotate the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, okay? And we're gonna go down. Need to go a bit wider. Okay, the band. We're working against it as we move up. Seated row. So, 2 options again for you. We're gonna use our handled grip. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this around our feet a bunch of times. So what this is gonna do is it's going to basically allow us to shorten the straps, as always, so that we can get a really nice solid pull, okay? So I'm gonna shorten my straps, okay? Now you have 2 options. You can keep your legs bent slightly if you want. Doesn't matter if that feels good for you. Absolutely go for it. Or you can straighten your legs completely. I like to keep mine just slightly bent so that I can sit nice and tall. Okay, so ponytail to the top of the ceiling. Both hands are in neutral grip. And from this position, we're gonna row. Both hands in towards the rib cage. Again, if you don't have this particular option, the exact same rules apply with the thick bands, okay? And with these ones, you can actually grip up on them. You don't actually have to use handles, so a little bit more versatile, I think. So again, nice and tall, pulling. Overhead press. Okay, so depending on how big your band is, you can do this standing or you can do it seated. You'd simply just sit down on your band. I can handle standing today, so we're gonna go feet shoulder width apart. Again, I'm gonna rack up. This time I'm gonna pull my arms out so that I'm sort of in external rotation. You can even do a 45 grip if you've got crap shoulders, okay? And then from here, we are gonna add just a tiny bit of a knee bend, just so that, you know, when you're working against the resistance of the band, you don't feel it in your back, okay? So rotate the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. Nice and control. The bands are gonna wanna pull your arms everywhere. So you have to work really hard by locking out the torso. So rotate the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, nice and tall through the spine. Push up, stay in my column. Knees up slightly bent. Banded thrusters. If you have a handled band, this works great, but again, you don't have to. You can use your circle. We're gonna step in here. Those of you guys who have done thrusters with me know that they're so much fun. Basically, we're combining a squat and an overhead press. So again, let's rack our handles up to our shoulders. We're gonna drop down into a squat position, and then as we come out of the squat, we're actually gonna push these overhead. This is heavy, so I'm probably gonna look like crap, but you get the idea. So squat. You'll notice that I'm keeping my hands in what we like to call ice pick grips. So neutral, so elbows are tight, and the handles are sort of pointing at you like if I had ice picks and I wanted to, like, I don't know, stab you. It's violent, but you get the idea. That's important, okay? This is gonna be really hard on the shoulders, so let's keep our hands narrow, even on the press. Then, when we press, making sure that we're staying strong and we're keeping our body like a column. So when we're pressing, we're not in extension, okay? I don't wanna see as people come up, ass out, ribs out, okay? You wanna make sure that as you're pressing up, boom, we're coming into posterior pelvic tilt as hard as you can. Side plank with banded row. I locked my bands down with some dumbbells. Again, you can do this with anything that's secure in your home. If you have an old exercise bike that's super heavy, if you're in the basement working, you have one of those big support beams, wrap your band around that, okay? We're gonna get into a side plank position from the knees or from the toes, depending on ability level. Making sure that everything is stacked and that you've got a good amount of tension at the beginning in that band, okay? So you can already see that I'm in tension here. And now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna pull, well, just move a little bit for you. Good, I'm gonna row that band in towards my rib cage. I'm holding static in that awesome side plank position. Front plank with banded row. We're gonna go into a low plank and rock this bad boy out. So again, I've secured my band onto something nice and stable. Make sure it's a heavy weight, something that doesn't move, okay? We're gonna drop down into a low plank. So from our elbows, with this grip, you've got lots of options on where to grab onto the band, okay? So we're here, I'm gonna drop down into that low plank position. I'm gonna reach as far as I can up the band to get some nice good tension on it, okay? And then once I'm here, I'm gonna pull down to the rib cage. Banded dead bug, y'all, because I love dead bugs. Okay, so just like everything else that we've been teaching with the band, make sure that this is weighted. So I have two 40-pound dumbbells that I've locked this down with on top of the step because I do not want this to roll on my head. And then I've elevated my band just so that when I'm pulling straight and have my hands out, it's at the same level so that it's not kind of pulling up or down on me. Exact same thing that you all know by now if you've hung out with me for a little bit. We're gonna lay on our back. We're gonna pull this band into tension, palms open, the height of the shoulders, legs are up. We're gonna rotate the pelvis slightly, not super crazy, but just so that we're neutral. And then in this position, you can keep your head down on the ground and you can do this bent leg. This is the easiest version. So we're gonna push through the heels of the feet, really trying to extend in the hip. If you wanna get a little bit crazier, you can lift your head up. That's gonna make it a little bit more difficult, making sure that those hands stay right over top of the shoulders. And then if you want the hardest version, that's gonna be a straight leg lower. And make sure that those hands really stay at the height of the shoulders. I see a lot of people pulling too hard when they do the banded version and kind of getting past the line of shoulders. Let's keep it right here. Banded half kneeling Paloff press or Paloff press, depending on where you're from in the world. We're going to make sure that our band is weighted and safe, like we've been talking about. We are going to make sure that it's approximately the height of where our hands are going to be, so we don't want to be doing this from the floor. We want to make sure that it's elevated so that when we're in a half kneeling position, it's at the right plane. I'm going to double it up because I'm sucking for punishment. We're going to drop into that half kneeling position. So outside leg is up, inside leg is down. What that's going to cause us to do is our body's going to want to fall towards the inside of us, and then we have to use all of those anti-rotation muscles to hold steady in this position, okay? So I'm gonna take these hands and I'm gonna get them kind of right in the midline of my body. I like to say like I'm holding a bouquet of flowers at a wedding, okay? I'm a bridesmaid. And then from there, we're gonna push straight out in front, okay? So what I'm doing at the shoulders is I'm making sure that my shoulder blades are drawn back and down, so scapular retraction and depression, and I'm holding them there as my arms move out and back in a straight line. So I'm really trying to draw a line from like my belly button to the camera and back, okay? I don't want to see hands wiggly, 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 wiggly all over the place. If it's the first time you've done these, you might be a little bit wobbly pops. That's totally fine. Do your best, you will get better.